Example problem. A ball is thrown horizontally from a 7.5 meters high rock with an initial velocity of 4.5 meters per second. So for letter A, how long is the ball in air? Letter B, how far from the base of the rock will the ball land? And letter C, what is the final velocity of the ball just before it reaches the ground? So let us illustrate the problem first. We have 7.5 meters high rock and a ball is thrown horizontally. We all know that in this kind of example of a projectile motion, your initial velocity along the vertical is always equivalent to 0. Therefore, the 4.5 meter per second is your initial velocity along the horizontal. Let us identify the given. We have height is 7.5 meters. Your initial velocity along the vertical is 0. Your initial velocity along the horizontal is 4.5 meters per second. And your g is 9.8 meters per second squared. So what is being asked in the problem? For letter A, it was asking for what is the time or how long. For letter B, it was asking for range. And for letter C, it was asking for final velocity. So let us answer letter A for your time first. So let us identify the equation to be used. So we have here dy or your height is equivalent to VIY or initial velocity along the vertical times time minus 1/2 times acceleration due to gravity times time squared. So in here, we all know that VIY is equivalent to 0 and any number multiplied to 0 is 0. So that will give you dy is equivalent to 1/2 gt squared. So let us derive the formula. So here, we can multiply both sides by 2, cancel, and 2. So it will give you 2 dy is equivalent to gt squared. Next, you can divide both sides by g. So cancel, that will give you 2 dy over g is equivalent to time squared. Then square root both sides, and that will give you can now rearrange. Time is equivalent to square root of 2 times dy divided by g. Next, substitute the given to your formula. So 2, your height is 7.5 meters, and your acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. 2 times 7.5 is 15 meters divided by 9.8 meters per second squared. So 15 meters divided by 9.8 is square root of 1.53 meters cancelled, second squared. So square root of 1.53, that will give you your time, which is 1.24 seconds. So it will be cancelled here. This is your final answer for letter A. For B, it was asking for the range, and we can use the formula dx. This dx is also your range, is equivalent to initial velocity along the horizontal times your time. So our initial velocity along the horizontal is 4.5 meter per second multiplied to the calculated time 1.24 seconds. And that will give you the answer for range, which is 5.58 meters. These seconds will be cancelled. Next, let us calculate letter C. It was asking for the final velocity. And to find the final velocity, we need to use the Pythagorean theorem. Why? Because in our projectile, it is composed of the final velocity Vf along the horizontal and the final velocity Vf along the vertical. So to find your final velocity Vf, we can use the concept of a right triangle, and we can use Pythagorean theorem. So Vf is equivalent to the square root of Vfx, or the final velocity along the horizontal, squared, plus Bfy, or the final velocity along the vertical. We already have the value of Bfx because your Vix is also your Vfx. They are the same because in projectile, the horizontal motion is uniform or constant. So if this is 4.5 meter per second, your final velocity along the horizontal is also 4.5 meter per second. Therefore, our problem is we don't have the value of Vfy, or the final velocity along the vertical. So we need to solve for that. We can use the formula Bfy is equivalent to Viy minus gt. And since your initial velocity along the vertical is always 0 in this kind of problem, therefore you can get the Bfy by multiplying the acceleration due to gravity times your time. So this is negative 9.8 meter per second squared multiplied to your time, which is 1.24 seconds, and that will give you negative 12.15 meters per second. So that is your Bfy. Now that we have the value of Bfy, we can now solve for Vf. We can now substitute your Bfx is 4.5 meters per second squared plus negative 12.15, that is your Bfy, meter per second squared, squared of 4.5 meter per second. Okay, so we have 4.5 meter per second squared is 20.25 meters squared per second squared. The negative 12.15 meter per second squared is 147.62 meters squared per second squared. Add 20.25 plus 147, that will give you square root of 167.87 meters squared per second squared. Square root of 167.87 is 12.96. So cancel. Meter per seconds. And that will be your final velocity. And that's all. Thank you.